It's hard to find someone who doesn't enjoy the wide range of S-rank agents in the game, right? Naturally, rank S agents have a lot going for them, including more distinctive character designs, more varied interactions, and most importantly, better kits than rank A agents. There are lots of reasons why rank S agents is a great choice. But did you know that there are some rank A agents that are particularly good, especially for supporting characters that will be released in version 1.4? These include Harumasa and also Miyabi. Agent rank A is a class of agents that are easier to build and tend to be owned by all players, including new players in this game. So without further ado, I'm here with PT Gamers and let's talk about the rank A agents that are required to be built for version 1.4. Let's do this. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough Stellar Jade? Here is a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Loot Bar. Loot Bar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 20% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 5% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 3,000 Stellar Jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50, totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in less than 3 minutes. All recharge will be done through the official channel with MiHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the agent I think you will find really useful, let's take a quick look at the two characters that are coming out in the next version, Harumasa and Miyabi. Miyabi is a character with a DPS role that can produce a lot of damage. Even if we crunch the numbers of the existing data, in her strongest kit, the basic attack Shimotsu, she can produce damage up to 5,000% at her maximum level, which is pretty impressive number for a character. There are two key things to know to get the most out of Miyabi's kit. First, her core passive, Searing Cold, can boost the first enemy build-up rate by 100% of the critical rate she has. The maximum you can get is 80%. At this point, it's important to understand that we need a lot of critical rate to be able to maximize this kit. We need to have an 80% critical rate to be able to get 80% frost enemy build up. This means we need to focus on boosting Miyabi's critical rate, including by selecting the right support character. It's also worth mentioning that Miyabi's kit has some additional abilities. To use the abilities called Bask in Frost, you need a support character or agent who is in the same faction. In addition to needing an agent with a supporting role, Miyabi has to trigger a disorder effect to get a certain mechanism called Fallen Frost Stacks. Fallen Frost Stacks are really important for Miyabi because the more Fallen Frost Stacks she has, the more damage she does through basic attack Shimotsuki. This means that the more often our character does disorder, it will be very beneficial for Miyabi. We've already discussed Miyabi's main kit, so let's move on to Harumasa. Harumasa is an attacker character with on-field DPS capabilities. He can attack from a distance or up close. He can dish out just as much damage as Miyabi, so he's a great choice for one of your main electric agents. As with Miyabi, Harumasa's core passive also requires a lot of critical rate status. The stack H that can increase critical damage by 72% in his core passive won't be active if the attack we produce on the dash attack Hiten no Suru Slash doesn't cause critical damage. In addition to a high critical rate, Harumasa also needs a stunner character with a high impact or an anomaly character with high anomaly proficiency. Just like with his other abilities, Harumasa can deal 40% more damage to enemies who are stunned or in an anomaly state. It's clear that we need a character who can easily provide stunned and anomaly conditions through this additional ability. On top of dealing more damage to stunned and anomaly enemies, Harumasa also gets 2 stacks of Lightning Prison, which is needed to activate his strongest skill, dash attack Hiten no Suru Slash. In my opinion, NICOLE is one of the best rank A agents in the game. NICOLE is a support agent who helps the team deal more damage. She has 2 mainstay kits, the EX Special Attack, Stuffed Sugar-Coated Bullet, and the Chain Attack Ether Shellacking. These 2 skills create an area that can draw in enemies and cause damage. One of the benefits of these 2 skills is that they can both reduce the enemy's defense by 40%. This makes our damage bigger, especially when we use agents with hypercarry kits like Alan and Miyabi. On top of reducing enemy defense by 40% with her EX special attack and chain attack, NICOLE can also provide other useful support. If you get her Mindscape 6, you can boost the critical rate of the whole team by 15% with an EX special attack or chain attack. I thought you'd find that interesting. This buff will be really useful for Miyabi and Harumasa because, as I mentioned at the start of the video, they both need a high critical rate because of the effect of their core passive. NICOLE has some pretty interesting buffs, and she's also pretty versatile. A lot of other support agents can use the debuffs and buffs she provides, and she's an off-field character, so she doesn't need a long time to be able to use her kit. She just has to activate her EX special attack and chain attack. And lastly, another reason NICOLE is a top tier support in this game is that her attack animation is quick. Unlike SOUKAKU, who takes a long time to activate EX special attack, NICOLE's animation tends to be faster and more efficient, making this character more widely used in some modes, for example, sheer defense. Next, the rank A agent character that's worth building for the next patch is Lucy. I'd say that just like NICOLE, Lucy is one of the best supports in the game. In addition to being included free in the previous version, Lucy can be paired with various combinations in this game, such as Bernice, which is currently one of the best off-field anomaly agents. One of the best things about Lucy is that she has a pig-shaped pet. On top of being adorable and hilarious, this pig can also assist in combat. Yes, you heard right. They can help in battle. The pigs get their status from Lucy, including anomaly proficiency. This means they can also give anomaly build up to enemies and provide status disorders. On top of her cool pet mechanics, Lucy also has some great support abilities for Harumasa and Miyabi. The EX special attack, named Home Run, increases the attack of all team members based on Lucy's attack. The higher Lucy's attack, the greater the buff given to her team, with a maximum attack of 600. Like NICOLE, Lucy's kit is easy to use. She can cast her EX special attack quickly and doesn't need to be on the field. This makes her a great agent for on-field DPS, like Harumasa and Miyabi. In terms of the third character that will be great to build in patch 1.4, it's ANBY. Yes, it's ANBY. Up until now, the agent named ANBY hasn't really stood out in various situations because this agent doesn't have enough synergy with existing agents. Even when combined with ANBY from the same faction, this character doesn't seem to perform as well. But since Harumasa is coming in the next patch, we will definitely need ANBY. Why do we need ANBY for Harumasa? There are a few reasons why you should know this. As I mentioned at the start of the video, Harumasa's additional ability requires an agent with the stunner roll to be able to activate it. On top of that, Harumasa has a Thunder Metal build as its main disc drive. This means that Anomaly Shock must keep getting triggered so that Harumasa's attack buff will stay active. Right now, in the ZENLESSZONEZERO, there are only two agents with stunner rolls who have electric attributes, Chingy and ANBY. Given that not all players have Chingy, the most straightforward and accessible option for everyone is ANBY. ANBY is a solid character. She has a good kit, a strong stunner roll, and can provide energy to other characters when she issues a chain attack or ultimate. Yes, when she releases the ultimate, she will provide energy to other team. The disable system in the upcoming patch has changed, so now all agents can have their own ultimates. Unlike in the previous patch, where ANBY didn't have the opportunity to issue an ultimate, in the upcoming patch ANBY can certainly issue her own ultimate, which means the effect of this Mindscape can be active more often. And the last thing I'd suggest to build is SOUKAKU, who's a rank A agent and a great choice for patch 1.4. To be honest, since the game first came out in version 1.0, SOUKAKU has been a highly sought after agent by many players. Even though she's currently been demoted on several tier lists, SOUKAKU is still the best rank A agent candidate. To be fair, there's a good reason for this. The main reason is that SOUKAKU is an agent that can provide some pretty interesting buffs. Her core passive gives an additional attack buff to all team members when she uses EX special attack or chain attack. The amount of attack buff depends on her attack up to 1000 attack. I thought you'd find that interesting. Needless to say, this attack boost will have a big impact on Harumasa and Miyabi, as they'll be able to dish out more damage if they get this buff. SOUKAKU also has another interesting buff that adds ice damage to all team members by 20% for 22 seconds when she has 3 vortexes when issuing Fly the Flag. This buff is pretty good because it increases the damage done by team members including Miyabi. Another interesting thing about Soukaku is that she has the same faction as Harumasa and Miyabi, namely the Section 6. This makes her a suitable agent when paired with the two characters released in patch 1.4, right? Okay, in this video we will also discuss the best team composition that we can form in the upcoming patch 1.4 using the two new characters that will be released, namely Harumasa and Miyabi. And because these two agents have quite different team compositions, we will discuss them one by one. Actually, Harumasa is quite a flexible character. He can be paired with various combinations of agents that you have. However, since Harumasa needs an agent with the stunner role or an agent with the anomaly role to activate his additional abilities, the combination you can use is more or less like this. I think the first combination that will be interesting to form is Harumasa, NICOLE, and ANBY. As I mentioned earlier, Harumasa needs to be at a very high critical rate status. You remember, right? Because in the core passive, stack H won't work if we can't deal critical damage to the enemies. That's where NICOLE comes in. She can also boost the critical rate through EX special attack and her chain attack, which has a 15% stack. You can achieve this ability if you can reach her Mindscape 6, but it's a shame to miss the defense reduction debuff of up to 40% through her core passive. On top of that, ANBY also has a pretty important role to play here. As we know, Harumasa has an additional ability that can deal extra damage when the enemy is stunned. This means he really needs an agent with a stunner role to make the most of it. Also, if you use Thunder Metal as draft disc for Harumasa, you will often need a trigger anomaly shocks to get the attack addition buff. This is where ANBY's role comes in. You can also use a mono electric combination with Harumasa, ANBY, and Rina on the team. Rina's there to support Harumasa, who can boost his damage output by sending her puppet to attack the enemy. This extra penetration buff will really make Harumasa's damage output skyrocket. Apart from these two combinations, you can also try various other team combinations, such as a combination of Harumasa, ANBY, and Lucy, or combination of Harumasa, ANBY, and Soukaku. This team is also quite interesting to use. And next, we will discuss the team composition for Miyabi. As I explained at the beginning of the video, Miyabi is an on-field DPS agent that can deal tremendous damage. But one important thing is that she needs a Fallen Force stack that can increase the damage she deals. One of the biggest Fallen Force stack contributions comes from triggering disorder by one of the team members, which means she must be paired with an agent that has different attributes to trigger disorder. The first combination you can form is a team composition consisting of Miyabi, NICOLE, and Soukaku. Now, some of you might be asking, why NICOLE again? Well, just like Harumasa, Miyabi is a character that requires a lot of critical rate, because the higher the critical rate, the anomaly build-up rate will increase thanks to her core passive. In addition, the 40% defense reduction debuff effect is also very useful for Miyabi, so NICOLE is a good option. One other thing why NICOLE fits well with Miyabi is because NICOLE is an agent with a support role and has different attributes from Miyabi, which is needed to activate her additional abilities and can activate disorder on enemies. Apart from NICOLE, Soukaku is also a character that is quite suitable for Miyabi. Apart from the fact that they both come from the same faction, which is Section 6, the buff from Soukaku can increase attack and also increase ice damage through her additional abilities for Miyabi, so Miyabi's main attack will become much bigger. Apart from the buff combinations, you can also use combinations such as Miyabi, Bernice, and also Lucy to create a suitable team for Miyabi. As we know, the combination of Bernice and Lucy is one of the favorite combinations today, because these two characters have the same attribute, which is fire, and they both have the same faction, so the combination of these two characters produces excellent combos. With the help of these two characters, we will be able to easily create Burn Anomaly quite easily, and certainly can help Miyabi to be able to produce Frostfall stacks. For the third team, you can pair Miyabi with Yanagi and Soukaku. These three agents are from the same faction, which makes for an interesting combination. Miyabi is the on-field DPS, Yanagi is the sub DPS, and Soukaku is the team buff provider. This combination is quite ideal. Okay guys, I think that's all for now. What do you think about these rank A agents? Please feel free to leave any comments down below, and don't forget to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.